But here you are, and I thank you for that, all of you. I want to especially thank the Motion Picture Academy for running the film on what is, in fact, in my opinion, the best projection in this country and in most other countries. And especially I'd like to thank Dawn Hudson, the Executive Secretary of the Motion Picture Academy, for making this possible, and Randy Haberkamp, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. But they made this screening possible. Thank you. 45 years ago, in the year 1949, Bill Blatty was an undergraduate at Georgetown University, the oldest Jesuit school in the country. And while in his religious class, his religious instructor told him a story about a demonic possession and exorcism of a 14-year-old boy. Now, this story was widely publicized. It was on the front page of the Washington Post and a number of other newspapers. And the story flatly stated that there was a 14-year-old boy in Silver Spring, Maryland, who was possessed by the devil and exorcised by a group of priests at Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri. Blatty, and I guess everyone in his class, felt that if this story was true, if this could possibly be true, it would be religious nirvana. And so he set out to try and get as much information about it as he could. And of course, the church would say nothing. The church would not, and rightly so. You know, to maintain the privacy of the family, they gave out, in fact, whenever they were asked, a lot of false, incorrect information. They said that this happened in Silver Spring, Maryland. It actually happened in a smaller town nearby called Cottage City, Maryland. But the church did everything it could to protect the family and the boy. The boy was evidently successfully exorcised, and he then, later in life, went to work for NASA. And he worked for NASA for 25 years. He was not the first man, by the way. But he worked for NASA for 25 years and retired owning a lot of NASA patents for his inventions. The family was Lutheran. They weren't Catholic. They went to their Lutheran minister, who said, "We don't have anything to deal with this young man's affliction, so try the Catholic Church." Which they did at the Washington, D.C. diocese. Now, as I say, Blatty couldn't get any of the facts. So he decided to write his novel as fiction. The Exorcist is a work of fiction. Whether you believe in possession and exorcism is totally up to you. It has to do with the mystery of faith, but none of us have any of these answers. None of us, nobody, no one who's ever lived, none of the greatest philosophers who ever lived know if there's a heaven or a hell or God or angels and demons. It is a matter of your belief system or no belief system. But I think one of the reasons you're here tonight is because we're all curious about the possibility of the supernatural. I certainly was. The film you're going to see tonight is what is known as the version you've never seen. I added 12 minutes to the original version of The Exorcist, which came out in 1973. December 26th, 1973. And for 25 years, Bill Blatty would hock me every day about the 12 minutes that I took out of it. And I used to call him a sore winner. I'd say, Bill, the film is a success. Leave me alone. And one day he called me, and I just heard in his voice something. And I loved Bill Blatty. He passed away last year. And I loved him, and I wanted him to be ultimately happy with the film. So I asked him to come out to California. We went to Warner Brothers, and we looked at the footage that I had cut. And after I saw it with Bill on a moviola, I remember putting my arm around him and I said, well, Bill, I finally understand what you were getting at. And I added the 12 minutes back. The studio wanted to call it a director's cut, but it's not a director's cut. This is the original cut of the film that I showed to Bill Blatty. There's a very special treat tonight, which I'm very pleased about. Ellen Burstyn has joined us, and